What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we back again for another god dang. Anyway, we back again for another episode review of Love and Marriage DC. Girl, this episode kind of irked my nerves, all right? Um, it irked my nerves for literally one particular storyline, but we'll get there. We'll get there. First of all, we picked up what we left off. First of all, this is episode 5, season 2, episode 5, Street Fighters. Okay, listen. And I'm trying to go ahead and get this out the way because I got to get back to Wu-Tang Clan. Y'all know, girl, it's in season 3. I missed the whole season 2, but I'm on episode 8 for season 2 right about now. I started last night, so I feel good about myself. I'll be caught up by tomorrow if I don't look at it all tonight. But anyway, so we get up into the episode and it picks up where it left off with Tyler's and Brittany, having basically setting it up so that Jamie and Arena could meet up with little Jamie and the grandmama and all that stuff. So they was just having a family meeting. It was like a little intervention on little Jamie, right? And little Jamie was a little confused. He was like, what the heck is this, okay? Because this is not what he came here for. He wasn't looking forward to seeing his parents or didn't have any thoughts of seeing his parents, especially his dad. Understandable. And then to see grandmama in there, baby, I feel like they brought grandma over there so that, they can calm the waters a little bit so that he won't snap off just in case he do. You know what I'm saying? But I understand, but it was a family thing because it's literally affecting everybody in the family. Brittany at one point had a little breakdown because she was like, well, we'll get there. Anyway, they talking. And, they was like, where you want to start? Okay, like, what's going on? And this family conversation needed to be had. And I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I say a lot of stuff about Big Jamie and his attitude and that aggression and, the way he handles stuff and the fact that, yes, your son is on his own path and you can bring a child up in the right way. You can give them everything in the world. You can give them all the love, but it's going to be up to them to choose the path that they want to go. Just because you give them all the love, give them everything, shower them this and tell them every day that I love you and all this stuff and keep them protected, bring them up right. That doesn't mean that they're always going to pick that straight and arrow path that is going to go to, oh, he's going to get a job. He or she's going to get the best job, the best schooling. They're going to get straight A's and, they're going to live their life right. Sometimes stuff don't happen like that. And we see that happening with Lil Jamie. And basically when they really got started, Big Jamie finally says, I know you a certain type of way, and I got to take a responsibility of the fact that, I probably helped put you there. Because even Brittany was like, thank you. It's about time that you took accountability for your part in this whole thing. Because the issue that I had with Big Jamie was him kept on talking about how, oh, these kids from the 90s, they get everything they want and they so spoiled, but who's spoiling them? Who's spoiling them? Who giving them all this stuff or whatever? The parents, the people around them, and everything. So you have to take some accountability as well. It's stuff to blame on each side. Everybody. No one is without fault. We already know grandmama spoils him because that's grandmama duty. We can say grandma shouldn't be doing this or whatever, but that's just the job of a grandparent. A lot of us get spoiled by our grandparents, baby. If my mama say no, my grandma will say yes in a minute. That's just how it was when we was growing up, okay? Especially my granddad. Baby, I just remember when I went down there to go see my mama, baby, my sister was spilling all the tea. Now, let me tell you something. I'll talk about that later. But, baby, let me tell you something slightly. Y'all know I told y'all my people grew up Jehovah's Witness, okay? And the only people that was really, truly still Jehovah's Witnesses were my grandparents and my aunt and uncle. And it's mostly right about now just my uncle, well, my auntie and my grandmama. Because my granddaddy, baby, my sister said, he be out here cussing and everything and doing all this shit. It's like he's in his rebellious stage at 60-something, 70 years old. I said, what? Not Mr. So-and-so, brother, what? I said, wow. Yes. I said, oh my God, so he acting out. Girl, yeah. I said, oh. out here cussing. I ain't never heard my granddaddy cuss. You know, Jehovah's Witness, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just sitting here like, what? It was a mess. Like, all the tea that was spilled on that trip, girl, I might come up in here and tell y'all, but it's juicy. I love family drama and gossip. But anyway, because it ain't got nothing to do with me, I just be sitting back like, girl. Anyway, moving on from that, I was just like, yeah, at one point, Jamie, he wasn't receptive, and I can understand him having his defenses up because he wasn't expecting this to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, it was just like an episode of Intervention. Baby, and just like looking at an episode of Intervention, and when it get to the intervention part and everybody's saying they piece or whatever, and then they want to start crying, I don't care what the situation is, girl, I'm going to start crying too. And I don't know what it was. Maybe it was because we ain't never really see Big Jamie this, like, open and emotional and vulnerable. Like, he allowed himself to be vulnerable, and he kind of broke down. Like, he was stuttering over his words. He couldn't even get his I said, damn, Jamie. You know, I was like, oh shit. You know, I said, oh, you really making me feel something for you, Big Jamie. You are really taking this in. And I thought little Jamie was going to feel something, but no, he ain't really feel nothing. He kind of probably did, but he wasn't going to express it. He felt something when them grandmama started crying. You know, people was just saying, like, we get that you're going through some things, but you need to talk to us. You need to, you know, let us in as to what's really going on. And I understand that, you know, you feel certain type of ways or whatever, and then you're talking about hurting yourself and all this stuff and all this, you know, just going over certain things. And when they gave him the floor to talk, he really couldn't talk. He just walked away. And that's what the problem is with a lot of us. And I'm just going to include myself in that too, because when we go through certain things, we're so used, some of us, when we go through things, we so used to keeping stuff inside because we're thinking that either we don't know how to express it, or we feel as though we can't truly be real with the people that we need to express it to because they're not going to take it in the way that we want them to take it in, or they're going to look at us as if, oh, you ain't got no issue or whatever. You need to grow up. You need to man up. You need to woman up. You need to do this, be an adult. And that's probably what he has been hearing all this time from his father. You know what I'm saying? You aren't where you, and even Jamie said it himself, you're not where you're supposed to be at in this time, at this age in your life. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, technically speaking, Lil Jamie, what you need to do is, I know you don't know what you want to do, but at some point, you're going to have to get your ass up and go get a job. It's a lot of us, and this is what Lil Jamie needs to understand as well. It's a lot of us that did not figure out exactly what it is that we truly wanted to do, even after school. You know what I'm saying? If we went on ahead to college and we wanted to go to college for this particular thing or whatever, some of us switched our majors in the middle of it. That was what I did. You know what I'm saying? And then even afterwards, some of us probably couldn't get jobs in that field, or if we did get jobs in the field that we went to college for, it's like, I don't even really want to do this, so let me take a step back and figure out what it is that I want to do. But at the same time, we still had to work because we still had to take care of ourselves or whatever, because a lot of us didn't want to be a burden to our parents, okay? A lot of us realized that we are now adults. And Jamie, little Jamie, you need to realize that as well. You are an adult and you are getting a free deal. Your people are letting you stay at their home throughout all the issues that you have having. And the least you can do is just go out there and get a job. And I truly feel like a lot of the issues would be okay. Yeah, you getting in trouble, whatever, but at least you can get out there and get you a job. And probably if you had a job, you wouldn't be getting in so much trouble. And I feel like that's where Big Jamie is coming from sometimes. And, you know, Lil Jamie, well, Big Jamie basically was like, either I was surprised that he was the one that keep bringing up the therapy. I don't know who, I can't remember who, you know, brought that idea up to him first and said maybe y'all need to have like a family therapist or whatever. And so he took into consideration, because I believe like in the first season, he wasn't even on that therapy tip. But now in this season, he's all the way down for it. And he suggested to Lil Jamie, like, either we go to the therapy, you see a therapist, and we talk about what's going on, or you're going to have to move out. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to move out. And, hold on. Okay, you're gonna have to move out, or and keep on being over there, like literally change your address and all that stuff. Go stay with your girlfriend if that's where you want to be, you know. And they brought up the whole situation about him wanting to harm himself and all that. And that is all of the stuff that Lil Jamie has been doing ever since he was a kid. That been a cry for help, okay? All of it is acting out, and none of it has been handled properly, to be quite honest. And mostly it's probably because either the parents didn't see it as acting out, or they just didn't know how to go with it, you know, take it under to help with it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not faulting them. I'm just saying that, you know, everybody plays their part. And your parents, okay? Your parents, and there's no guidebook. I don't care if you have a parental book here, there's no real guidebook to how to raise kids. It's literally take it as you go. You know what I'm saying? So you try this out, you try that out, and parenting does not stop when the kid hit 18 years old. Parenting keeps going until the day the parents die. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. And Lil Jamie didn't even want to do that. I said, excuse me, sir. Your daddy is sitting up here. Now, baby, I'm sorry. The person in me, I probably would have been like Lil Jamie, like, you would have cried in front of me. But then again, the type of person that I am also, I probably would have said the same thing. But I would have been like, I would have cried a little bit too in front of him because he cried. But then again, if it was my father, bitch, I wouldn't have no type of emotions. Like, nigga, you weren't there, so what the fuck? That's a whole nother story on a whole nother day, okay? But, you know, he had walked away to go cry in public, or to, you know, stew up in his feelings. And again, he's taking it the wrong way, I feel, you know, because he took it as if they're saying that, oh, basically he's the problem child, he's the reason why the family is this, and, you know, he's the worst person, and it's making him feel like this, and making him feel like he's worthless, and he don't deserve to be here, and all this stuff. And I understand. See, that's what happens when you're not opening up your mind, and you're just so closed off and thinking the worst about things, and you're thinking already bad about yourself. And the way that he internalized that and interpreted that, you don't really realize that that's not what was going on. Because if they really thought that you were the worst and really thought that you wasn't worth it, Lil Jamie, they wouldn't be there talking to you. They would have left. Your daddy wouldn't been giving you so many chances after chances after chances, regardless of the fact that, you know, he be cussing you out and his tone be off sometimes. He probably be a little bit aggressive. He still let you come back. If he didn't care and think you was worth it and he didn't love you, he wouldn't be going through all of this. Your sister sitting there crying for you and telling you you can't be shutting down like this, and this is what gets to her, because she don't know what's going on, and when she tries to talk to you, you shut down. And Raina had to sit next to him and talk to him. Baby, I was the grandma. Because everybody went downstairs on the steps trying to talk to him, even Big Jamie, right? Grandma was sitting up there at the top like, girl, listen, these knees, if I go downstairs one time, baby, I ain't coming back up. We going to the car and we going out, okay? These knees don't work like y'all's no more, all right? Mama stood up there at the top and was eating some chips. I said, I know that's right, girl. They will handle it, okay? Be like, girl, he got a good relationship with me. You know? I was just like, oh my goodness. But it was, I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed this part, because this is actually what I actually really wanted to see on Love and Marriage DC. Put effect the drama, whatever of it that they're trying to manufacture and put on here to get us to keep watching. I really wanted to watch Raina and Jamie's relationship with their children, with especially Lil Jamie, and how they handle this, okay? Because, you know, him acting out, Big Jamie acting out, Lil Jamie acting out, and I was so glad that, you know, Big Jamie basically was like, we're not telling you that you have to go to therapy for you. This is therapy for both of us, like for all of us, you know what I'm saying? Because Lil Jamie had it in his mind it was just about him, you know? And so when he realized that his daddy was like, I'm gonna be there with you, and, you know, this is for both of us and all that, he said, yeah, he'll go to therapy. And I do like the fact that him and his brother, Big Jamie and Lil Jamie literally look alike. You got to just look at it. You know what I'm saying? Lil Jamie look like a a younger version of him. If you look closely at Lil Jamie and you look closely at Big Jamie, you can see Big Jamie all up in Lil Jamie. So I was just like, that's your face. That's your face. Y'all got to get that together. And I love the fact that they hugged it out, you know. And you could tell that he loved his kid. I do like the fact that they did go to a therapist. Was the therapist sitting there with the Versace? I said, okay, Mr. Black Man. All right, you know, and they just, I'm not finna go over everything that they spoke about in the therapy session because it's basically been a lot of the stuff that we've been saying in the reviews and, you know, evaluating the whole situation. You know, we get the whole issue about, you know, Big Jamie's tone and his aggressiveness and the fact that he used to work in the police department and how maybe because of the way that he worked in the police department, that's probably the way that he was talking and disciplining his kids or whatever. And that was an issue. And Lil Jamie basically confirmed that in his confessional and everything. So, you know, they was talking about stuff about the way that Big Jamie can handle things, the way that Lil Jamie can handle things or whatever. And sometimes I feel like, honestly, a lot of the stuff that the therapist was saying was some of the things that Big Jamie was saying already and people around him was probably saying. But, you know, sometimes you don't get it until somebody else say it and probably in a different tone. And I feel like that's what made Lil Jamie get it a little bit. I feel like a little bit of progress was made. I like the fact that the therapist, when he asked Lil Jamie about him having those thoughts of, you know, not being here anymore, when was the last time he did that, and having that little private conversation and letting him know that you know, it's his responsibility and his duty when he hear a patient or a client say things like that, that they have to keep a checkup on them, you know, try to make sure everything is okay, because he fairly recently said those things, and it's understandable. And I really feel like the way that Lil Jamie was talking about things that was going on within himself and how he was feeling worthless or whatever, all last year, like I saw myself in Lil Jamie when he was talking about that, because like, all last year, that's how I was feeling. I just felt like, and I literally, no shade, and, you know, no lie. I used to just, at the end of the day, and it's time for me to go to sleep, I lay up in this bed and just literally be like, if something was to happen to me, nobody would care. I feel worthless. Like, what is my point even being here? I wouldn't call those like, you know, unliving myself thoughts or whatever, but it's just those like, you know, what if this happened? I just feel like if something was to happen to me, or if I was no longer here, nobody would really care. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I felt, you know? Told y'all it was a dark time last year, the whole last year. It was just terrible. So I understood where Lil Jamie was coming from, and hopefully that they made progress. And I like the fact that, you know, the therapist was like, if you ever have those thoughts or whatever, you feel like you can't talk to anybody else, you give me a call and we can sit down and talk, or I talk to you on the phone and all that stuff. I appreciated that. So that was them. Moving on from that, girl, we get to Quick, okay? And you know what? First of all, I am thirsty. My mouth is dry. I should have went and got some water before I started this review, because I'm not finna stop it. I was looking at rocks because I feel like, I think Scotty does his review, but Scotty on vacation right now. Shout out to Scotty. Shout out to Jamar. Rox does her review for this. I know she's getting a little frustrated because it do feel like I said, we all noticed that it seems like a different season, a different show or whatever. Some things do seem a little bit more manufactured for drama and all this stuff or whatever. But, you know, I mean, I can deal with it. But she pointed out something about the Silvers, about the way that mostly Quick is trying to act as if he's a different person this season, trying to make himself seem a little bit better than people or whatever. And, you know, and I kind of saw it a little bit when she started saying it. But on this episode, baby, I said, well, damn. Ross was on that money. Like, she hit the nail on the head. I said, it just hit me in my face. For some reason, I just felt like this was very inauthentic. And I don't know why I felt like it was inauthentic, but because he kind of been like this probably since last season. I can't remember, but he started off like this at the beginning of this season when it comes to his son. And he's so hard on the son. He is so hard on the son. And you know what turned me off completely on Quick was the fact that, because this ain't the first time that he did it. I let it slide for a second the first time, but this second time, especially given the fact that we just seen Lil Jamie make progress with his own family, and he's always bringing up Lil Jamie as an example, or to compare Lil Jamie to his son or to other people, and to make him seem as if he's like the worst person ever. He's the worst kid ever. You know what I'm saying? Especially in comparison to, you know, his son, because his son Antonio, who he is always constantly getting on his back. And it's like you can tell Quick was raised by a father that was probably just like him or whatever, or he's trying to, you know, show the world that, you know, I'm a black man with a black son, and my black son ain't gonna be an example of all this negative stuff. He gonna be this, he gonna be that, and woo woo woo, because I'm giving him this and I'm showing him how you supposed to properly raise a black man up in this world, and, you know, you give them just this much and they still have to put forth the effort and all this stuff. He's doing all of that in this season, and it's kind of irking me, because at the same time it feels like he's not really letting his son be a kid, but at the same time it's like he's trying to show us an example of how you're supposed to discipline a black son. You know what I'm saying? And I just and then to just throw Lil Jamie under the bus constantly. Oh, you know, when because Lil Antonio, that's his name, he got suspended. He got suspended because somebody stole his jacket. Somebody deliberately took his jacket when he sat it down, and he went to go find the jacket from the boy, and then they got into a fight. He using the example of, well, what if you took his backpack and you open up the backpack and he had drugs and a gun up in it or whatever, and then they get you in trouble and then you get in jail and you do all this. I said, hold up. I mean, I get it, but you kind of just went off the deep end just a little bit. You know, you went from one spectrum to the other end that I wasn't expecting to hear all over a jacket. I mean, this is kid stuff, and yes, these days the kids are a little bit more ruthless than they were when we was young, okay? So you do have to be a little bit careful, and I understand that, and I do like the fact that he tried to put some type of discipline in them, but it just seems so performative when he gets on camera, especially now, and I'm seeing it, and I'm so glad Rox brought that up, because now I'm seeing it for real, for real. And, you know, the fact that he said, see, the difference is, like, you know, you got Lil Jamie. He was into some stuff, but he wasn't really disciplined about the things that he was doing. But I'm going to discipline my son. I'm going to make sure that he knows that, you know, you're not supposed to do this and all this stuff. And I'm sitting here like, this is about your son. Why are you bringing up anybody else's kid? Why is there a comparison? And that's why Lil Jamie be going off on him on Instagram and social media. Okay, because you're literally trying to make him seem as if he's the worst person on this cast. And even Lil Jamie said, I don't understand why my parents put this out here like that, because now everybody's gonna run with it. You know, and it's not the fact that your parents put it out there, because it is a teachable moment. It is something that a lot of people go through, Lil Jamie. This ain't your story is not original. Okay, your story is not original. A lot of parents go through this with other kids. You're not the worst person. You're not unworthy. You're not just a simple bad kid. Okay, you just got some licks that you gotta figure out. That's just what it is. But at the end of the day, to use you as a comparison and everything, and especially given the fact that Quick, a person who told us that he either got stabbed and or shot when he was younger and was into a whole bunch of stuff. And it's almost as if you're trying to erase that he was the bad kid. If you want to put it like that, you were the bad kid then too, because you was into some shit way worse than Lil Jamie. You know what I'm saying? So, like, use yourself as an example. If you're going to use somebody as an example, you ain't got to bring up nobody else's kid. That is irritating. That was irky, and that's just, like, to just make yourself feel like you're doing something, like you're parenting well. And this goes to show me that these people ain't really know each other before this show like that. Y'all ain't really kicked it before. Y'all literally were put together as a cast to come together and to have some manufactured ass drama, because real friends do not do stuff like this. Kids are off limits, all right? And talking about what they went through when they were younger, that is off limits. No real friend is going to bring up somebody else, their other real friend, as child, as a comparison to the way that they're disciplined. I said, Quick, you can go somewhere with that. Anyway, little Antonio will be all right. That's probably his first offense or whatever that he did. And that's probably the worst that's going to happen. And truth be told, it wasn't even his fault. The boy shouldn't have stole his goddamn jacket. That's just what it was, okay? But I get it. We do have to discipline kids regardless. But damn quick. He irks me. He really irks me. You know, even Ashley was sitting there looking like... Ashley ain't had much to say this episode. But then let's move on for a second. Let's talk about Winter for a second. Winter, girl, at this point, I don't understand why you on the show. But I do understand why you on the show because, girl, you don't get along with nobody. So you up here trying to get this little, what is it called? Romancipation type of situation, celebrating your divorce and all this stuff, having a good time and all that. You call Cherelle down there to the place that y'all gonna have it because you had the party planners and everything. And I'm sitting here like, okay, that's cute. You got at least one friend up on the group. You know, she about to be on the outs with practically the whole groups too. So y'all could be on the island together by yourselves because, you know, you want her to talk to the ladies and try to get them to your little event. For what, Winter? For what? It's not gonna happen, Captain, okay? Them people don't like you, all right? It is all right. And Cherelle, I need you to stop. Stop with this whole, you know, if we can get you and Ashley to sit down and have a conversation, then want to talk about something. You know, me and Ashley, we're kind of like the same. You know, we're boss women. We like the last word. And it's like if we can actually sit down and listen and hear each other, we can probably be friends. No. No, let me tell you something. Listen, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. And if I was to see that y'all cool now, I'd be like the shit fake as fuck. Because I'd be like, y'all went through all of that just to be cool. I'd be like, that is some fake ass shit that just went down. Hell no, we can be cordial, but baby, we ain't gonna be friends. I see you on the street and say, hey girl, and keep on moving. That's it. But this whole, I'm finna call you up, we finna be friends and all this stuff. Stop using that F word so freaking loosely. You're not friends. You're barely associates, okay? You're freaking cast members. That's it. That's it. Now I'm sitting here like, why do you want people that don't even want to fuck with you at your event so that it could be messed up? You ain't got nobody else to call? Or is this the only way that you can film? I'm confused. Winter, let me know. For real, let me know. Is Carlos making you do this? Is Carlos making you do this? And I'm pretty sure the reason why you came back and was brought back because you was a fan favorite at the end because you was the one that was keeping up all the drama. But at the same time, right about now, you're not really needed. I'm just going to be honest. At this particular moment, I ain't saying later on, but at this particular moment from what we're seeing, you're not really needed because they literally keep putting your little scenes in here and there. And most of the time, we forgot that you're on the show. I'm sorry, but that's just honesty, you know. Moving on from that, I said, girl, let that shit go. You and Ashley will never be friends. You and Raina will never be friends because, baby, I wouldn't be friends with you if y'all was going through all the shit that y'all was going through. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. That's just me. I'm not a fake bitch. That's just... You got one time to impress me, like, and that's just it. Sometimes you can start off on the wrong foot and then you get that time to, you know, kind of fix it a little bit. But if we can't fix it after that one time, girl, fuck that. Fuck that, fuck that. I'm moving on. I ain't got time. I don't even know you, so why do I care? That's just how it is. Moving on from that, Cherelle and Joy. Cherelle. Let me tell you something, mama. You fat as hell to me. And, you know, I have to put that out there each and every time just because. But I'm finna tell you this, girl. You getting on my last nerves and you got on my goddamn nerves this episode because what you did was 100% wrong. All right? And I'm telling you why. Some people may be like, I understand why she went and she talked to Joy and I understand why she confronted Arena or whatever. It ain't had shit to do with her. It ain't had shit to do with her. And I'm finna tell you why. Because listen. I understand standing up for your man, standing up for your woman, standing up for your mate and all that stuff. Woo, 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 and woo, woo, woo. But baby, at the end of the day, Joy, you better than me because I would not have sat down with Cherelle. You already said what the issue was. You already said that you got the bitches blocked. Cherelle Black and everybody else associated with Mumbo Sauce and or with Black. Okay, that's fine. That's your own prerogative. At this particular moment, 10 years later, because we on this show, what the fuck we got to talk about? You really think we finna figure out the issue between me and this person when me and this person had 10 years to talk about it? You mean to tell me if you really wanted to talk about it, you couldn't find a way to get in contact with me, to get my number, to get my other handle? You couldn't find me on social media. Granted, I got you blocked on Instagram. I'm pretty sure you don't got a block on Twitter or whatever. I'm pretty sure if you that deep up into the music industry, you could probably find somebody that know her number and her information, get her email address, and send out something and y'all can talk. Within the 10 years before y'all got on this show and realized that there was an issue. Right. Exactly. So that's why I'm not stunning this. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was not mad at Joy for feeling the way that she felt like, girl, what the fuck was we sitting here for? At the end of this little sit down, Joy said the shit was pointless. And I said it was pointless too. Because at the end of it, and Cherelle, hear me good. Again, like I said, I understand want to take up for your person that you're with, but you don't know the ins and outs. You don't know if that man telling you 100% the truth. You don't know, like Joy said, I know him before you knew him. And she was like, but I know him now and I've been married. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, he did tell me this. He told the girl, every time Joy was trying to talk and explain what was going on from her perspective, it was Cherelle jumping in trying to make sure, like, what is it? Combat her statement or whatever. Come back at her statement and be like, girl, nah, that ain't what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because he told me this, he said this, my husband would never do this or whatever. You don't know. I don't care how long you've been married to this man, Cherelle. I don't care what this man told you. You do know people lie and people omit the truth. He could tell you part of the story. He could tell you some of the story. He could tell you his version of the issue, okay? And she has her version of it. So if she wants to believe her version, baby, that's what she's going to go off with. And regardless of what you think may happen, you were not there and you were not in the group to see what Joy was talking about. So you sitting here talking about something, well, my husband said this. Bitch, you wasn't there. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It's between Black and Joy, okay? That's just what it is. So if anybody should have had a sit-down conversation, it should have been Black and Joy, okay? That's just what it is. Granted, I understand Arena came back to you and said that your husband was shady or whatever, and they played the clip back. Joy didn't say the word shady. Joy said he was what? Manipulative, unprofessional, or whatever, untrustworthy, whatever the fuck. All those words equal shady, basically. Okay? And you getting up in your feelings because Arena said the word shady about your husband when all the real words that Joy said sound so much worse than the word shady. But when you put them and simplify it, they all mean shady. He was a shady business person. That's basically what she was saying without saying that one particular word, because she could have summed it up and just said that he was shady. But she broke it down and said he was this, he was that, he was this, that, and that. Baby, you getting in your feelings for the wrong goddamn things, okay? And then you want to turn it on Raina and come in her talk about something. I feel like, you know, she being messy, she playing both sides. Bitch, you was playing both sides earlier as well, okay? But at the end of the day, do I feel like Raina needed to tell Cherelle anything about her conversation with Joy? No. Did I even feel like she needed to go over there to talk to Joy about what was going on between her and Cherelle? No. But at the end of the day, this is a reality show. We needed a little bit of drama. And let me tell you something. If we're going to have some drama, please let that drama be real. Please let that drama have some real legs to stand on. Because ain't no way in hell I'm going to go to somebody else's event because Quick was getting his street name out of him, a street name after him in his old neighborhood. And everybody was there minus Winter. Cherelle was there. Arena was there. Joy was there. Everybody, you know, Ashley and the whole crew, whatever, plus the husbands. Ooh, they even put Black up in the confessional. I said, oh, bitch. So you part of the cast now? You got these women going against each other because of you. You know what I'm saying? And Joy broke down the reason why they didn't, why she don't fuck with Black and, you know, the situation, what happened about how Mumbo Sauce was a group. They was about to go on this tour, and right before they was going on a tour that put Mumbo Sauce on the map, two of the original members left. they quit. They got 2 other members, and that is the group that really set, or that's the version of the group that really set it off for them. And Black got in his feelings at one point and wanted to get the original members back. After this tour was so successful with these other 2 members, he wanted to get the original members back. And then started doing some other shit that was going on that, you know, Joy wasn't here for, and all of that. And, you know, basically saying if it don't happen this way, then I'ma quit. That's basically what Black was saying. Girl, it was a mess. And truth be told, I believe Joy version. I don't even know what Black's complete version is, but the way Cherelle is acting, she acting like, you know, they got some shit to hide, and so therefore she got to come in and defend her man 100%, because what you're not going to do is tarnish his name. At this particular point, I'm going to believe Joy, because Joy is not acting the ass over. Joy is not doing the most. Joy is not acting like she got something to hide, and Joy's story has not changed. She added a little bit of detail, you know, but it's still damn near the same. You know what I'm saying? And so Cherelle sees Arena, who was looking good. Now, first of all, now when Jamie and Arena came over there to Brittany's house, why was they so dressed up, and the grandma was up in her little jogging suit? On the sweatshirt and sweatpants, and Arena and Jamie, they was dressed up like they finna go out to a formal dinner after this. I mean, he had on a suit and everything. They look good, but I said, damn, you couldn't put on some little jogging pants and a t-shirt? Like, what is going on? What was y'all going after this, okay? But anyway, oh, excuse me. They get there. Quick get up there. He accept his little honor, whatever, crown. I don't care. Moving on from that. Arena, you know, Cherelle see Arena, and the girls start circling around, and Cherelle talk about something. We not going to talk about people stuff, and we not going to be doing this or whatever. Girl, Joy said, once you see a Black woman addressing a whole group of people, and they start going like this with their hands, oh, you know it's about to be something. So basically, Cherelle, you took this moment away from this person and this family, who this whole situation is about, to address some bullshit. To address some bullshit that really wasn't a fucking issue. And your issue shouldn't even have been with Arena like that. Yeah, you know, she told you or whatever. Like I said, Arena didn't need to. But to make such a big goddamn deal over it the way that you did, you are lame as hell for that. You are lame as hell for that. And you want to know whose side I'm on this, John? I'm on Arena's side. Because Arena said, yeah, bitch, I called your husband Shady. Because what Joy said actually was that he's manipulative. He's unethical. He's not trustworthy or whatever, and said that shit right in front of Blackface. I said, Arena girl, you want a point for me, because mama said I said what I said, and just because you want to confront me in front of everybody and make a big ass issue about it, you think I'm finna change what I say and cower down to you and say I apologize for this and all this stuff? Hell the fuck no. I said what I said, and this is the definition of what Shady is. So everything that Joy said, she said the same thing, but I just simplified the shit, because Shady is literally that definition. And she pulled up the fucking definition. I said, well, see, that's what we've been saying. And I said, so Cherelle, you're getting upset at the word shady, but you're not going to get upset at the words manipulative. You're not going to get upset with the words trustworthy, untrustworthy, and unethical, and all this stuff. You're not going to get upset with that, but you get upset with the word shady? Y'all ignorant. You ignorant, Cherelle, for that. I just didn't like that. You have an issue with somebody, you pull their asses to the side. And especially the fact that nobody else was saying anything. And then it's like you trying to make it seem like people was going around talking about your husband. Nobody was going around talking about your husband. Arena and Joy had the conversation, and that was it. You brought it to the group. Nobody had to know, but you brought it to the group. So, girl, get the hell up out of here. Anyway, Arena was about to tap that ass, and I wish they would have just let them go. I really did, because Cherelle, you was wrong for that. Like, if y'all gonna argue over something, bitch, Cherelle coming at Arena as if Arena came back and told you that Joy said that, or lied and said that your husband was an abuser, or he sexually assaulted somebody, or whatever. Now that, I can understand. But to say the words, girl, get the fuck. Get the fuck. And if you handled it with Joy and y'all came to a conclusion, why did you even need to go to Arena? Because Arena wasn't spreading it. She told you what was said. Girl, shut up. Anyway, that was Love and Marriage DC. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about it. Girl, I didn't know it was going to be 40 minutes. I'll see y'all later. All right, see y'all later on tonight. Peace.